Researchers turn the Microsoft 365 Copilot against users leaking extremely sensitive data. What is Microsoft 365 and what is Microsoft 365 Copilot? These are two separate things pulled in together. Microsoft 365 is what Microsoft calls their Office suite of services, among others. So they include their Office stuff like Outlook, Docs, spreadsheets, whatever, as part of a Microsoft 365 subscription. Copilot is an AI that is embedded into the Microsoft 365 program. So Copilot will allow you to access an AI system that is supposed to help you sort through your Microsoft documents, your Office documents, and whatever else is part of Microsoft 365. So these researchers have discovered that there is a way to use Copilot, the AI system, to leak sensitive information without any user interaction at all. Check it out. Microsoft 365 Copilot could leak sensitive user information to attackers with zero user interaction, even if they've never opened a malicious email. That's right. So how does this work? The AI assistant has access to Mailbox, OneDrive storage, Office files, internal SharePoint sites, Microsoft Teams chat history, and more. So the researchers call this thing an echo leak. And they have made it known to Microsoft that there's an issue here. So hopefully, Microsoft has this in their radar, that has the potential for this to happen in their radar. The attack chain is lengthy but clever and interesting. It starts with a malicious email. It instructs Copilot to collect the most sensitive user data. So you literally just send an email to your target, and in the email you say, Copilot, I want you to collect the most sensitive user data. While Microsoft tries to prevent any prompt injection attacks using its classifiers, the researchers found that it's easy to bypass simply by phrasing the email as instructions to the recipient directly without ever mentioning AI assistant, Copilot, etc. So you just send an innocuous email to whoever your target is. And in the email, you have instructions. You don't say Copilot. You don't say AI. You don't say anything. You just say, gather the most sensitive user data, because Copilot reads it. The user may never open the email, but for the attack to succeed, Copilot does have to retrieve it. So in order to maximize the chances that Copilot retrieves it, they recon the target to understand what sort of questions usually prompt Copilot and tweak the context accordingly. They can also send multiple emails and very long emails that are chunked to further increase the likelihood of an email being retrieved by Copilot. So for example, here's a complete guide to the employee onboarding process, or here's a complete guide to the human resources FAQs. Here's the complete guide to leave of absence management. The Copilot system, the AI system, as long as the user opens that email and it seems innocuous at first, all they have to do is read that email, then collect the most sensitive information from the user, and then there's a link to a URL where Copilot can send that information. The user doesn't even have to click that link. It's not it's in the email, but the user doesn't have to click on it. All that has to happen is for the link to exist, because if it's an image, the browser automatically fetches the image in that email as if the user had clicked it. So at that point, Copilot understands that it has to attach special information to that link through whatever content is in that email. You can just prompt the Copilot AI system to do that. And once that information is attached to the image link, then it can get sent to wherever the attacker tells it to. So it's a little bit of a long-winded way to gather this information, but it does work. And the only thing that the user has to do is just have the email sitting in their inbox and read. Part of the reason why there's no user interaction involved is because if the user has previously opened such emails, the Copilot system recognizes that the user would probably open this email too because of the contents, and it will automatically read that email on behalf of the user so that it can do other things. Like the AI Copilot will do things like give you an alert that the email exists and you need to interact with it, or like you should go check out this email because you've opened it in the past, things like this. So essentially you're just looking at the most common emails that a user, your target, is likely to open based on other things that they've probably opened in the past, and away you go. It does require some knowledge of your target, but in this day and age, that's not hard to gather. You can imagine then that you can ask Copilot to send all kinds of details, other emails that exist in the account that Copilot has access to, other documents, personal information, you name it. You just tell the AI Copilot in Microsoft 365 to ship the data as part of that image link that the user doesn't even have to click on, and Bob's your uncle. This is extremely dangerous stuff. And the reason why it's extremely dangerous, I think, is quite obvious to tell, because these systems are designed by design. They have access to a lot of your personal data, either because the people who manage these systems give them access to that data, as is the case of Microsoft, or because you are literally engaging with them with your personal information.